The Syrian government has condemned the evacuation of hundreds of Syrian White Helmet rescue workers and their families with the help of Israeli soldiers. They have called it a criminal operation. Let's get more on this. I'm joined by Khaled Khatib, who is a White Helmets media officer. Many thanks for speaking to us, Khaled, on TRT World. Before we get into this, for viewers who may not be familiar with the White Helmets, they were established as a rescue service in rebel-held areas, essentially volunteers who work to save people who were caught in rubble and trapped by government bombardment, essentially. So that has been their purpose in Syria for quite a long time. Why the need for this evacuation, firstly?
Actually, after the occupation of Assad Regime for most of the areas in southern Syria, so it was the only way to evacuate this volunteer of the dangers to the Jordan, because the national circulated reconciliation agreement didn't give any guarantees of safe paths for the displacement to other areas in Syria outside the regime control. So it was the only way to protect our volunteers. They have arrived to the Jordan through Jordan occupied. And fortunately, this operation have done, we have saved the volunteers, and this operation have done after we asked our supporter government to evacuate these people because they were in danger in a small area. So that's why we have evacuated these people. And you know, Assad regime have killed to 251 volunteers so far. So they were in really dangerous. So that's why we did this evacuated. Unfortunately, they are safe in Jordan right now.
So a couple of hundred have been saved in Jordan, but there's still others, White Helmet volunteers, still trapped in Syria. What happens to them? So
we have only evacuated 98 volunteers from the southern of Syria to the Jordan, and there are more than 3,700 volunteers. They are still keep working in the north of Syria, and they will do its mission after the last moment possible. So we're really sad to evacuate these volunteers from southern Syria, but it was the only way.
Desperate situation.
And they continued to do their serving the people in the southern Syria, but the occupation of the Syrian region for most of the area in southern Syria made this work impossible.
The Syrian government condemning this evacuation by the Israeli soldiers of the White Helmets, calling it a criminal operation. What is your response as an organization to that claim?
Actually, we don't care about what Assad regime said, because since our formation, we have been a target for Assad regime and their allies on the ground by targeting our centers and the media. So we are only care about how we can protect our volunteers of this danger of Assad regime to save more lives. So, and this operation, it was only to protect our volunteers from the dangers. If they haven't left, they will be in danger. So we don't care about what Assad regime said. We only care about our volunteers, because there are 4 million of civilians. They are live in the north of Syria, and they need the operation and the work of the White Helmets.
Given what we have seen in Syria over the last few years, specifically over the last year, and how they have managed, the regime particularly have managed to get more and more territory, what does the future look like for the White Helmets group overall in Syria?
Actually, for us, we will keep working and respond for our bombing, and we will keep saving lives in the last moment possible. And we really care. We really worry about the north, because Assad regime and Russia have been targeting, bombing most of the civilian areas, and unfortunately, no one did anything to stop them. So we really worry about more than 5 million they left in the north of Syria, and we always ask the international community to respond and to protect their communities in the north of Syria, because we have really disappointed because no one have did anything so far. And every day there are Syrian killing by Assad regime, and there are people, we take them from under the rubble. So it's really bad to be always worried about the people because the airstrikes of Assad regime and Russia.
What you and your group have done in Syria is absolutely amazing, and we thank you. Khaled Khatib, a White Helmets media officer, speaking to me here.